YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy SB. Welcome to the channel, SB Toys. What's good? Hopefully, if you haven't already, check out some of the other videos I have on my channel. Like, share, comment on them. Subscribe to the channel. I have this button right down here. On the right hand side, you can click on, go ahead and subscribe. Or stay tuned to the end. I have a button you can click on as well. And subscribe to the channel. I'm always updating it with new content. And I got a nice little list of videos right now that you might want to go through. See something you may enjoy. Now, a lot of videos on my channel are showcase videos. But I have been getting into doing figure reviews as well lately. And I have a couple up already. So the main reason I got into doing that is because a lot of figures, especially as of late that I've been collecting, you can still go and find out there in the retail markets and in your department stores and things like that. And also, let me mention, this mic that I'm using picks up pretty good noise, so you may be hearing a little music in the background. The mic is just my partner back there creating some music. We do a little multimedia work. So that's what we do outside of doing the figure video reviews. I do other multimedia work. A nice little gem I'm gonna drop for you. As mentioned before in another video, the intro that you see before we get into the video that comes on. I did the theme to that and did the little intro graphics for that. So gives you a little idea of some of the skills your boy is working with. But anyway, let's get back to this episode. Now, you're looking at me, and some of you that are much older, as far as collectors out there, you're probably like, well, hold on. You're saying you're doing video reviews of figures that's currently out on the market. And I recognize this figure right here. And the only market that I can probably find them in right now is either eBay or a yard sale. Or maybe a Goodwill if I'm lucky. So, why am I so-called doing a video review on a figure that's not really out on the market and that I already have a showcase video for? Now, the reason I'm doing a video, we're doing a figure review on this figure is because I haven't really seen one before, and also the video I did with him, I really didn't do him justice. I mean, it was good to kick off the channel with one of my first favorite figures when I started playing with toys as I was much older. Well, getting much older in age. And just one of the first figures I became a fan of when I was getting into playing with toys and stuff. So I figured I need to do him justice now that I've got a more, I should say, solid structure to how I do videos on this channel. I figured this would be the nice opportunity to do one for him and give him justice. And also, why not do a Bucky Hare review? I'm going to take him off the turntable. Now, if you've seen my first showcase video, I've mentioned there were a few factual errors that I must correct. Now, I mentioned something about the cartoon show coming out in the 80s. That really was not the case. It did not come out till the early 90s. What did come out in the 80s was the comic series. So, if you were a fan of the Bucky Hare comics, in the 80s, you were familiar with Bucky Hare. And the TV show, you probably became a fan of in the early 90s. Also, I mentioned that Playmates was the manufacturer of these figures. It was actually Hasbro that put these figures out, so I apologize to them for trying to ruin some of their history as far as figures they manufactured for the generation of the 90s. I do apologize. But anyway, all in all, it's just a pretty good figure here. Like I said, this is a vintage figure now. You're not going to find this in the department store. You probably, well, your best bet is the eBay. And like I said, you may go to a yard sale and look up catch one. But more than likely, you will have to do a eBay purchase. Now, let's go ahead and get into some details here about Bucky Hare. If we measure him toe to ear, stands about 4 inches, and then without the ears, we're looking probably right under 3.5. So he's not too enormous, and he's not, well, as far as say your Marvel Legends figures, he's definitely undersized compared to those. But you must remember, this was an early 90s figure, and this was never designed to be a figure for adult collectors. This is a child's toy. So, a lot of the advanced things we're used to now as figure collectors is not with this figure. Aside from that mention, let's go ahead and get into his articulation that he has. Now, he does have the head turn, and you can do a full 360 if you want to. It's a little tight, but you can do a little side turn there. And the more you turn to the side, the more kind of awkward though his look as far as pose. It just doesn't look right. So usually I don't turn him too much, but he does have the ability. Also has articulation in the ears, which is, I guess, a pretty advanced feature for that time. Now I usually just keep his ears turned sideways like that. For some reason I more like it that way. It's got a more aggressive look, I guess. Turning to the side here, there are no type of forward or back, or I should say head tilt articulation. Get to his arms, he does have little articulation here at his bicep, and the forearm here has articulation as well. And that's about it as far as upper body. Also, you can move the bicep joint forward and back, and you could probably do a 360, but by the time you get back here, it interferes with his leg, and there is no type of articulation on the leg to where you could move it out the way to give us a full type of rotation. Speaking of the leg, here at the leg, it's got a basic forward and back movement. That's about it. No side movement, no type of double joint or ball joint, no type of knee articulation or ankle articulation, toe articulation. None of that. It's about as simple as it comes as far as the articulation. One thing, when you do move his leg forward, as you can see, kind of give you this outer foot kick. His foot here kind of angle out the more you position it forward or back. And even straight ahead, the way they sculpted and designed his feet are positioned apart. Now, overall, you can say this is a very simple figure for a very simple time. Child's toy. Definitely one of my favorite toys growing up. So that's definitely the main thing I liked about this. Sentimental value, but definitely was a nice little sculpt to it. They gave you a cape. Nice little head sculpt here. A lot of characteristics. If you're a fan of the Bucky Hare cartoon, then you know what I'm talking about. I do whatever this little accessory right here. In the cartoons, he didn't have that, but whatever they put on this figure here, this little chest piece, I don't know, it definitely made the figure stand out a little more. That's one of the things I do like that they included on this figure. It just seemed to give a lot more character to it, which made me more a fan of the figure than the Bucky Hare from the actual cartoon. And if I haven't mentioned already, I do like his cape as well as they came with it. Now, I'm gonna try not to be too biased. This is a simple figure. Now, if I would do a little critiques, maybe I would say it would have been nice if they came with a better type of way to do the sculpt for his arms and his legs. You know, when you move them and type of do any posing, everything just goes outward. So if you want to pose him doing a kick, it's always like a slanted side kick or whatever you want to call it. Same with the arm. If you want to try to pose him doing some type of punch or something, you can probably pose him like that. But any type of movement further than that is just going to look awkward. Trying to pose him attacking another figure or something like that. But I'm not going to get into being too critical on a figure that came out in the early 90s that was only designed to be a child's toy. Alright, so we got him back on the turntable, spinning him around. Captain Bucky Hare. Now, would I recommend you getting this figure? If you are a vintage toy collector or you're a fan of the Bucky Hare comics or the cartoon and you are a figure collector as well, then yes, why not? Go ahead and pick him up. Like I said, go check out eBay. And they're not crazy either. The prices on them are very affordable. So it's a nice little gem to have to your collection. Now, of course, if you're one of those modern millennials out there or somebody who's all big on detail and articulation and all that, then yeah, you're going to probably frown upon on this video. But screw you. You're just a hater and you're not a fan of the vintage. Let me stop. Anyway, all in all, hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, you can probably find these on eBay. Or maybe if you're at a yard sale or something, somebody's grandma is selling their kids old toys from back in the day. You may find one in the box. Pick them up. But with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, comment the video, share them with your friends. You old school people out there, 90s cartoon fans and stuff, I'm sure you remember the guy. Share them. Leave a comment as well. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click this button. And you'll be able to stay up to date with videos that I put out there. As mentioned, most of my videos I do showcases. And for more of the current figures out there that you can buy, aside from Bucky Hare, I go ahead and do video reviews for those as well. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. And stay tuned. I'll be coming at you with more. Y'all be easy.